Hi everyone, this is the Ballroom Maestro. Um, it's been a minute. Um, I've been pondering, making sure that the next thing that I had to say to anyone had the absolute most impact, and that it was a statement that would make you get up and do something. So I'm hoping that the words that I had to say this evening will be just that. There are less than 60 days before the general election. The world has, the world is changing before our very eyes. We've watched as many of our loved ones have left this planet without even being able to touch them and say goodbye. I wanted to speak to the social dance community and the social dance community at large. I don't care what genre of social dance you engage in. Um, I wanted it. I wanted to make sure that first off, our pain is known and understood. We, as social dancers, practice a culture that has right now has been stifled internationally around the world. Almost no one is dancing anywhere. Here, domestically within the United States, it is painful. It has become painful to know that we have had to take almost an entire year and place it to the side and just not dance, not touch, not engage. I feel your pain. I miss all of you, and I pray that we are all able to do what we love to do again very soon. But to be more specific, let's be clear. The reason that in America specifically, that no one can dance right now, sadly, is because of poor leadership. To the entire dance community, social dance community, I pray that you heed my words this evening or today, whenever it is that you get this message. We have been put in this place because the federal government has not held up their end, has not been responsible to the constituents of this country. Doesn't matter what party you're with, doesn't matter what ethnicity you represent. Sadly, we have a federal government in place that has chosen to not assume responsibility for the people. And I quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying at its foundation such principles and organizing its power in such a form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness." I know most people haven't read the Declaration of Independence in a really long time. I had to go back and look up a piece of it myself. But by simple virtue of being born on the soil of the United States of America, we get to alter what our government is doing. We have one way of doing that. You have the right to vote. The 14th Amendment, the Civil Rights Act, the 19th Amendment as well, the Civil Rights Voting Act of 1965, and any and everybody who has laid down their lives over the last, 100 some odd years since the end of the Civil War, to put us in a position where we have at least one sacred and legal right in this country. That is the right to vote. And I get it. If you're one of the older Americans, you might feel some kind of way about voting. You know, what does it matter? Younger people, you might feel like, what does it matter? We've seen elections stolen. We've watched as the electoral process has played out to where the popular vote didn't matter. So let me give you one itty bitty little piece, well, two little things that will hopefully help you understand why your coming out to vote this time can help change what's going to happen. 2008, 2012. People came out in enormous masses and voted for Barack Obama, to the tune where no one could discount or take away from the fact that he legitimately won the election, both the popular vote, and because the popular vote swayed so heavily, the Electoral College had to follow. That's how the game goes. So when you don't vote, when you sit back and say my vote doesn't count, it really doesn't. So you have to get up and go and place your vote. You have to get up and go and vote. The more of us that do it, the harder it will be to deny the fact that we voted and we asked to make a change. First thing, if you have not registered, I need you to register throughout the month of September. It needs to be done by this week if possible. But if you have not registered to vote, if you have not voted in a very long time and you're not sure if you're registered, you need to be registered before the end of September. Voter registrations are taking anywhere from a week to 4 weeks to be processed, which means that it may take a moment for them to receive your application and get it approved so that you are eligible to vote. Depending upon your state, it may vary upon how long it takes them to get the registration application processed. You can register online. All 50 states have online voter registration applications. It takes less than 10 minutes. If you are scared of the internet, if you are scared of your computer, go get one of your kids, go get one of your grandkids, go get one of your nieces or nephews, go get somebody to help you get this process taken care of. Or if you are as old-fashioned as I am, go down to the county courthouse in the morning to the voter registration, to the election board, and register to vote. That's part one. Part two, you have to vote early. Meaning, we can't trust the Postal Service. Mail-in ballots are normally not a problem. Let's just say it probably won't be the best way to get your vote in this year. I'm just saying. If you vote in a state that normally votes by mail-in ballot, roll with it. That's probably the regular way that you guys are going to get things done. But for the rest of us, we cannot trust the Postal Service right now. We have one thing that we have to do. We have to utilize the entire month of October, which is when early voting will start in almost every state. Okay? Vote early. So now, I hear you. I can't really take time off my job. So, I'm going to need you to get very creatively ill. Yes, you. We get really creatively ill to do all sorts of things. I'm going to need you to find out, first off, when you can vote early in wherever it is that you are. And between the beginning of that time and the end of that time, find a day when you can be when you can become creatively. I'm not feeling well right now. You know, just you know how we do. Just. I think I need to go get some rest because I'm gonna check out early. I'm gonna go. Become creatively ill one day in October and take your tail down to the election board and cast your ballot early. That way you cannot say that the vote that you did not cast the ballot and that it wasn't counted. Early ballots get counted when you go in person. Okay? Simple process. Register to vote, go vote early. Register to vote, go vote early. Register to vote, go vote early as you become creatively ill one day in October. There are those of you who want to wait until November 3rd, until the first Tuesday in the month, because that's traditionally how you always do it. You're willing to take a brown bag and your lawn chair out and wait in line all day. We got you. Yes, go do that. For the rest of us, I think my allergies coming on real bad. Start practicing now. Do whatever it is that you need to get done. Okay? It is too important for you to stay home. We want to dance. We want to socialize. We want to do all the things that we used to do. That will only come from us making a change in the powers that be, who govern our lives, who dictate whether or not a pandemic should or should not exist within the walls of the United States of America. We did a great job with handling Ebola, swine flu, H1N1. We did really great. I think 2 people died in the country from Ebola. I am holding the obituary of my best friend and business partner of 20 plus years, who we laid to rest about 3 weeks ago. A first-class germaphobe right up there with Donald Trump himself. He went to the hospital and never came out. COVID is no joke, but this could have been handled much better. My friend was probably 175,994. We are almost at 200,000 as I make this address today. What you gonna do about it? What are you going to do to change it? We have the power. It is the one thing that we can do. Black, white, brown, yellow, whomever you are, we have one guaranteed thing that we can do as citizens of this country. Go cast your ballot. And cast it early this year. I'll be back soon with some announcements about dance things that we'll be doing, but right now there's nothing more important. The next 50 some odd days are going to be centered and focused on getting to the polls early, making sure you get registered. That is my sole mission. Here in the area where I live, I am helping to coordinate transportation to the polls for early voting. Do something. When you see something, do something.